Welcome back to Chess and Metrics. I will continue now with the round 6 recap of the German Masters, where Kateryna played against Josephine Heinemann. So let's have a look. So the game started out with the e4, e5 open games, and it went into a very dynamic Evans Gambit, which Kasparov, former world champion, very successfully used, and other strong grandmasters played it as well. And if you don't know the theory here with black, you can sometimes really lose quickly even. But of course, at this tournament, you expect everyone to be well prepared. So Josephine Heinemann played one of the main lines with bishop a5. Kateryna played d4, grabbing the center, the usual way of dealing with or playing the Evans Gambit. And d6, queen b3. Here, very important to know queen d7 with black. This is one of the pitfalls. Queen e7 looks logical. Yeah, and also leaving the bishop open. But after queen e7, after d5, black loses this bishop on a5. So queen d7 is the move. And here after takes bishop b6. If you were to take on e5 immediately, then white sometimes has also these ideas of bishop b5 and also quick castle and rook d1 ideas. So it's quite dangerous sometimes for black. Also bishop a3. So bishop b6, very nice move. And after knight d2, take on e5, bishop b5. We decided that this is quite a good line because it was only played like around 10 times. And I think now that took black out of her concept, and f6 here is the best move. Was played by Kateryna, for example, or a Wanda Liang. Both games finished in a draw. After white gets some initiative, but black is a pawn up after all, so should be doing fine. But instead, Josephine probably was a bit surprised about the Evans Gambit, and she decided to give back the pawn just to get to a very playable endgame. And the game unfolded very naturally. Trade, knight f3, king f7. Yeah, you don't need to castle. We are in an endgame. Bishop f4, attacking the c-pawn, rook c8, everything normal. And then this sequence of moves here, knight e5, knight e5, f4. And probably a move that Kateryna underestimated was bishop c4, which was played in the game. Very strong tactical resource that the a file is pinned, the a pawn is weak now, and white has this bad structure, and black will get the initiative with the opposite color bishops, and that suits black very well here. So she had to play rook d1 to get active on the e file, and after f5 open up all the pieces. Here, very interesting moment probably. Josephine decided to play rook d8 and neutralize the game. But actually black here can already be better with the move king e7 or king e8. It's not that relevant. It's about the ideas later that after king f2, preparing rook e1, black goes rook a2, king f3, rook a3, and now this very stunning move knight b2, using the fact that the rook has to keep contact to the c-pawn, and now opening up the position with c6. But still after something like king g4, as we see, black probably still has to worry about rook e1, e5 ideas, so it's very double-edged, chances for both sides, but computer prefers black. But I would say that it's still very open for free results. So yeah, instead she went for rook d8, and after takes bishop c7, we get to this position where white gets active pieces now, and probably the position is around equal. But after g5, taking on g6 more or less forces the draw, as we will see. But interestingly, rook c1 was an option where white can give a pawn with an active king, which is very entertaining and also instructive. That white is a tiny bit better here. For example, if black just were to play some move, maybe I can even fix the structure with g4 on dark squares, and it's not that simple. I can activate my king, get e5 in, so therefore probably the best moves are h5 or g4. and that should do a job to make a draw, because now the pawns are on light squares and I probably cannot break through with the white pieces. But instead, Kateryna took on, took on g6, and after h4, probably white gets not a lot of counterplay with h5, and black should grab the queen side. So yeah, here I think I'm wondering h5 wasn't played, probably because of this tempo, maybe with g5, or even just trading and then something like rook check or rook c5 ideas. So yeah, probably not much to do. But after rook d1, we trade these pawns, and the game naturally ended in a draw after this trade of light pieces. And here we have this rook endgame where black just gives this pawn to just get an active king, and the game ends in this repetition. Well, so I hope you enjoyed this video. This was the round 6 of the German Masters. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And as usual, don't forget, success for chess. See you in the next recap. Bye bye.